listening to Radio Anguilla 95.5 FM, broadcasting from the Valley in Anguilla. I'm DJ Sweets right here with you on this beautiful Tuesday morning. The time in our studio is just about 26 and a half minutes, moving down after the 10 o'clock hour. And as promised again, right here in the studio, we have the chairman of the Anguilla Summer Festival for 2012, Mr. Davon Carty. This entire week, we'll be talking with different committees, and we'll be getting the know what and know what's going on with Carnival for 2012, and we're going to keep it flowing. Good morning to you, Mr. Carty, and welcome back to our microphones.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Tell us, what hat are you wearing today? Because I know today you're not wearing chairman hat.
Well, it's a hat that you can't take off, so it's always that. But we're really going to be looking at our August Monday and our latest creation, our reggae band clash.
Okay, I'm going to give you the opportunity to choose which one you want to talk about first, and then we're going to go from there.
Reggae. Let's deal with the reggae band clash. That's the newest one, I think. You know, people know what August Monday is all about. You know, the August Monday festivities and our boat races and our big stage down at Sandy Ground. You know, but the reggae band clash is something new, and it's creating quite a bit of excitement. So, you know, it's very interesting out there.
Since it's a fairly new addition to the lineup, tell us how it will work, if any, how many bands you already have signed up.
Yeah, we're really using the soca band clash format to build the reggae band clash. You know, of course, there'll be some deviation from that template, but the success of that show begs for duplication to some extent, using a different genre, and you know, it really is to invite into our carnival festivities another one of our musics, which in this case is reggae, you know, which has never really been a huge thing in carnival. But reggae bands are huge throughout the Caribbean and also in Anguilla. And we've got some budding artists right now who are, you know, making significant waves locally, regionally, and internationally. And the Carnival Committee thought it would be a great platform to create this platform for these bands to use to continue their development and growth.
Well, you know, definitely it is something new, but like all other places, it is good to embrace new things. And because reggae is such a rich culture, and, you know, we come from the Caribbean where it is deep within our roots, it is good to also bring it because it is also a part of our culture, and Carnival deals with culture.
Most definitely.
How many bands have already signed on to take part in the reggae competition this year?
In this for this show, we're looking at possibly 5 bands. We've got 3 confirmed already, and further interest from singular artists who don't have a band but would love to be involved. You know, but they're looking at how they're going to structure their band situation. But most likely, the bands that will take the stage would be British Dependency, Omari Banks, True Intentions. We've got great reggae bands, you know, Hotshot and his crew out there been around. I haven't spoken to Hotshot yet, but I'll be in contact with him. And, you know, other acts out there that can take the stage. And we'll be blessing the stage also with a significant headliner. And we're right now talking to either Calibuds, who is a significant act coming out of Bermuda originally, as well as everybody knows Maxi Priest. So it's a toss-up between Maxi Priest and Calibuds right now, and it seems like you've got younger generation vying for Calibuds and the older generation vying for Maxi Priest. So it's going to be a cool countdown as to which artist actually takes.
Well, either way you go, you got a great artist coming with lots of experience, lots of deep roots into the reggae vibe. So either way you go, you can't lose on that arena.
Of course, and talking about deep roots, I forgot to mention, of course, there's always a possibility, and we'll be talking to them shortly, that the great Black Star Liner is going to also take the stage. You know, and for those who don't know, Black Star Liner is our good friend Ice Pie. You know, Mr. Niles, his current outfit, you know, that is really began to make inroads into the roots reggae market in Anguilla, and, you know, is receiving significant respect from other musicians for their work. You know, so I can see a strong local reggae band lineup. And of course, we are not excluding any bands, because reggae, it's not necessarily a type of band. It's a music. You know, so it doesn't prevent any band that wants to play the test test tune and compose a reggae original, to compete in this show. So it's possible also that we can see an Exodus take the stage, or Panther Vibes, or ABC, or Jam Action. We're not letting anybody out. But because it's the first year, we're still formatting the show, and we're still discussing with the bands, because they will be involved in how this show works. It's going to be run by the bands committee, but with consultation with the musicians as to what really makes a good show and how we're going to work it.
You mentioned before that you were getting requests from some artists out there who don't have a band but is really interested in taking part in it. Would it be open up for those persons to be able to take part in it as well, or you're going to leave it just for the bands alone to take part in?
Yeah, well, we don't have a backing band scenario, so it's really difficult to see how to fit those artists that don't have a band into that into a show like that. I think it really becomes the responsibility of the artist to put their band or his band together, or find a band that he can perform with, if he wants to be presented at the show.
Would this person get deductions for actually having their music recorded and then they sing live, as some persons do?
No, this show is a live band show. It's a live band show. It's really going to be a live band show. I think it's important. Musicianship is important. And I think Anguilla as a nation has suffered significantly from not having enough musicians. In a lot of cases, we've been relying heavily on technology to pull us through. But I can see as the times roll ahead that musicianship is more important now than it ever was before. And we want to keep that as an important aspect of the Anguillan community, because we support it and we applaud it. And this show really is going to be about musicians and musicianship. It's not about playing a CD and singing along. It's not going to be a karaoke show.
So you definitely, if you're an artist out there and you would wish to take part, you should try and hook up with a live band in order to do so. Is there anything more you can tell us about the operations of it, how it's going to flow, some of the rules, and what persons have to have in order to take part in it? Like you said, the band is one must. Is there any other rules that they must comply with when applying for?
Yeah, we're deep into that right now, and we're going to be pulling in the bands to hold discussions over that. But what I foresee so far, and it does depend on how much bands take the stage, and Omari Banks, for example, made the point, if we were to end up with a significant amount of bands on the stage, then it's difficult for the bands to do what we call a set. And a set would be, let's say, 5 or 6 songs, because you'll be limited by the amount of bands that flow. However, if you ended up with, let's say, 3 bands or 4 bands on the stage, then you can see conceivably a format where you have a test tune, which will be selected for the bands to play for and present to be judged, as well as we're also pushing the whole idea of original material. So you have 2 points which you'll be judged upon. One is how you play a cover tune, and the other is how you present your own original song. So that is something that we'll have to be discussing with them. If it's a show that's packed with bands, then we can see the bands having to present a cover as well as an original. And if it's not packed with bands, then we can see the bands presenting a cover, original, and then doing a 5-song set, a 5-song show for the audience.
What would be a minimum number of bands that you would like to see sign up for this show?
4.
And you already got 3.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So that is it's interesting. I'm not too sure why, but it might be because people are so excited about the Soca Band Clash, and it's something that they look forward to every year. So it might be that it's just another band clash, or it could be that people are really genuinely interested in reggae being presented at Carnival, or even the emergence of our own reggae in music stars. So it could be a number of factors.
Well, being in the media sector, when you go around, you hear a lot of persons saying, maybe we don't have enough reggae artists, we don't have the arena for reggae music, why put it into Carnival? What would you say to put interest into those persons who have doubts about this show making it in the carnival lineup?
Yeah, it's really about limiting yourself. I mean, why would you do that? You know, it's the same complaint that the Calypsonians and the soca bands have for the rest of the year. You know, it's they come out, they do a great show for Carnival, and then the minute that Carnival is finished, we go back to pop or rap or something that technically really is not our music. And there's always been this cry from the artists as well as the audience to some extent to have our music, be our music and represented and respected as our music. And soca, reggae, calypso, this is our music. This is what we make, what we listen to, what moves us. So we've seen, like before. Also, we've had some critique for the installment of Zouk as well as Kumpa down at the beach and underground. But it's a huge thing right now, and people have gotten to accept that and appreciate that. This is all our music. It's not something that's strange to us. So there's an appealing case for really this is the platform for the presentation of ours.
So what you're trying to do is to go back to their roots, to instill our rich culture back into the Anguillan community.
Of course. I think it's important. I mean, let future generations decide what they want. But, if it's alive and it's well, put it out there and then people can choose.
Is there a registration deadline for any person or band that wants to take part in the Reggae Band Fest?
There will be. We haven't put that date together as yet. The bands committee is starting to meet to really put this show together. So we'll have more information as to how it's really going to work after further discussion with the bands and the bands committee, and that information will start to flow out early next week.
Okay, we talked about the reggae now. Let's go into the big August Monday fest that everyone is looking forward to. I know everyone is highly anticipating this event, and it usually is a huge success. I mean, when you go down to Sandy Ground on a Monday, you're expecting to see tired people from the Juve morning, but no, it's so much energy, so much enthusiasm. So I would say this is one of the biggest parts of Carnival that you have to ensure that runs smoothly. So tell us a little bit about some of the plans that you have in place for the August Monday, because I know yesterday you said you probably will be down there from Sunday until Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's a humongous show with tons and tons of logistical issues, and tons of how do you do a show that big in Anguilla?
You just do it.
you just do
it. Like you said, you have a strong team behind you. Yes, you're still looking for some volunteers to fill little gaps here and there, but we have faith in you that you're going to do a good job.
Well, of course, because these shows, this is what happens with these shows. They come and go, and the most critical element of that show would be the audience, and those people make it happen. The crowds that turn out and the way that they respond is what makes a show like that happen. So we don't get confused by either the logistical or technical issues. We just know that these people make this thing really, really happen year in, year out. It doesn't matter, whether there isn't any parking space or whether it is raining. We've seen almost every sort of difficulty at that particular show, but it just continues to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every single year, and this year it's the same thing that we're doing. It's the same theme. So you're going to include something for French West Indies. They've got that in De Bala, and we're going to include something for us. We've got WCK in the soca unit band, WCK out of Dominica, and soca unit out of Trinidad. Plus we've got our heavyweights, our musical giants, in Anguilla, and we'll have a presentation that involves all of our musics. Every single thing will be there. Our soca, our reggae, our kumpa, our soukas. It's all going to be there.
Tell us a little bit about some of the activities that will be taking place in between sets, what's going to be going on, what the atmosphere is going to be like down there on Monday.
Yeah, well, we've got young Anguillan DJ Platinum, bless, who's currently in the U.S. He's going to be flying home to DJ for us. You know, we've got some young acts coming out of St. Martin who is also going to take the stage and do those filler moments, you know, for us. And let's not forget why we go there in the first place. I mean, it's like Juve, and then it's
like a cool
boat race,
and then excitement.
and then, right. So you know, there's it's a whole bunch of things. You know, whether it's you're coming from Juve, you're ending up in the Sand Ground. You can stay there if you choose, or you can go home and take a refresher and come back and then hit the boat races. And then while the boat races are going, we've got the music going on the stage. When the boats head out, you know, in between them heading out and coming back, we've got all this activity on the stage. And then in between sunset and 12 o'clock in the night, the music just keeps on going. It's a huge atmosphere. It's really the Caribbean's biggest beach party.
I mean, it encompasses everything of the Anguillan culture. You have the music, you have the food, you have the beach, you have the boat racing. Mm-hmm. So what more could you ask for in one day?
Well, nothing. If you want something more, you know, well, the food, take the food, take the drink, take the beach, the beautiful beach, and the people, you know, the companionship of everybody who's come out to just do one thing, have fun, you know, and be a part of that environment and atmosphere, you know, and that is, that's all it is, but I don't think it needs to be anything else other than that thus far.
I know the Anguillan community right now is on a, let's say, a little bit of a high in terms of security. Any measures being put in place to ensure safety of persons taking part in the activities, the artists, the guests, and all those who will be taking part in the festivities down there on Monday?
Yeah, thankfully thus far, it is proven, the track record is that less incidents happen, you know, during Carnival, and we've had a relatively safe Carnival run, you know, over the past couple of years. One or two incidents. Last year we had an incident that was not violence related, but led to a death, nonetheless, regrettably. And this year we're meeting with the police department on Wednesday. We've got our security team involved already. We've been meeting with Mr. Levens of Bandit Security, who is going to be providing cameras, you know, just to keep everybody safe. So we're not lax in security. You know, it's one of the key factors. We just can't say come and have fun and not be concerned about the well-being of our audience. So when it's something we take very, very seriously.
You mentioned yesterday that you are in need of volunteers for the August Monday festivities. What kind of areas are you looking for those volunteers in? Because we're going to be putting out a call, because all of us make Carnival, and all of us need to play our part to ensure that Carnival is a great success, becomes a great success. So tell the persons what areas you need help, so that they can know and they can call and contact you and get in contact with you.
It's such a large production, and it goes from parking to assisting. And when I say assisting, you might have people who need help to find something. You might need help backstage. You might need help locating equipment, securing equipment. You might need help transporting people. It is so varied. But, you know, none of them are really hugely technical things. It's really about having the manpower available to be able to get stuff done. You know, even if it's something simple as picking up and dropping off somebody. You know, assisting in the parking area, helping to organize. You know, backstage. You know, whether you just need somebody around who can be of assistance to any of the artists, just in case of, you know, for whatever reason. You know, so nothing hugely technical. It's just about presence and the capacity of the amount of people you've got to be able to assist at such a show like that. And as we sit down more with the body that grows that show, we'll be able to look at what happened last year and what we need to do this year to make the show, you know, even better.
Would you say that preparations for this August Monday are flowing steadily. You have your artists on track, confirmed. Little things still need to iron out.
Always.
But
Always.
thus far, how do you think it's looking?
This show was one of the first shows to be secured and locked down. You know, in terms of who's going to be performing, lights, sound, stage, roofing, lineup. This was one of the first shows to be put out of the way. You know, so that show is as advanced as any other show. You know, right now, and we are well ahead in most areas.
Do these shows need sponsors, or are you still seeking sponsorship for certain areas in the August Monday show?
Every single show, you know, we've had a decline in sponsorship across the board last year because of the economy. Every single sponsor I've spoken to thus far this year is very, very optimistic about their level of commitment and keen to get involved and keep Carnival not only afloat but doing magnificently well. And we're just now starting to have in-depth discussions with our sponsors who have been on board forever. Their commitment is non-wavering. Their level of commitment, however, in terms of how much they can financially contribute, you know, it's impacted by what's happening globally. But I can see where this year we've done a lot of work to be able to offer sponsors something of value, and they're responding to that. You know, so we're very, very positive about what's happening on that front too.
In terms of the vendors and the food and the drinks, how is that being organized and taken care of?
There's a history there and a tradition there, you know, so there isn't much work to be done in that area. The vendors know and the committee knows, you know, what's standard, you know, so there aren't much changes in that area at all.
So things are flowing. You know, from yesterday when I talked to you, you just have this calm, mellow flow. And I see that someone who is in control of things and positive about what's going to happen and what you would like to see happen. What would you say keeps you that calm? Because, I mean, sometimes when the pressure's on, it's on. And you're wearing such a broad hat with so many different colors at this point.
Let me put it this way. Show business is crazy. At the best of times. You know, you can have $1 gazillion to produce a show. It's still a crazy event. It's just the way it works. So it doesn't help for the organizing committee to be crazy. You know, you've got to maintain your cool. And also you have to recognize that you're not dealing with haters. What you're dealing with is people with different opinions. You know, so when it comes down to that, you know, there's no right way or wrong way, you know, to do these things. So with that in mind, you just go about your business and you try to get the best result for what it is you're doing. And I think one of the things that keep us buoyed at in the whole committee is that we have a sense of doing a production that is more than just a show. You know, we see the Carnival platform as a very, very significant economic platform, as well as a hugely significant developmental platform for Anguillians. You know, in the arts as well as in business. You know, so it's not something we take lightly at all. It's something that we look at and we see the possibility of Carnival as a tool for marketing Anguilla, as a tool for exposing Anguilla, as a tool for exposing Anguillians. You know, I think a good example is to whether it's the creation of the reggae show. I mean, we've got young Anguillian acts that are serious about music. I think Anguillians right now are more serious about music than they've ever been before. We have more, the proliferation of bands in Anguilla is at a point that it has never, ever been before, as well as the capability of those bands is way beyond what what it has been. So there's tremendous growth in that area, and this is something that we have to support. It is a way out. It is a way out. I think a good way to look at it, or probably the best way to look at it, is the impact that someone like Bob Marley had on Jamaica, and still has, even after his death. Bob Marley's music is critical to Jamaicans' tourism. His music is critical to the average Jamaican's life, what he believes, what he thinks is possible. And we need that. We need that. When you go to some of our our most prominent artists, a man like Mr. Banky Banks, you have to understand what role he plays in the Anguillan community, not only artistically as an inspiration, but also, I would dare say that a higher percentage of tourists who come to Anguilla know Banky Banks before they even know who the chief minister of Anguilla is. It's crucial. It's critical. It's very, very important. And we as Anguillians need to understand the importance of these entities and support them. They are inspirations. It's a way forward. It's a future. It's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't even sit down to contemplate. And they need love. They need help. They need advice. They need a way out. Because, truth be told, they can help us more than we can help them.
And definitely we see a lot of the youngsters who are very talented in terms of the music arena, with instruments, with voice, with vocals, whatever you can think of. You're seeing more and more. A lot of them are coming out. A lot of them are trying to get into the area. And, we really need to encourage them. And not only to encourage them, but encourage them to stay within our culture, as well as explore other avenues in order to take themselves places if they are really and truly serious about the music industry.
Of course. And I make the point again. It's not, when they go places, we go with them. When they go places, we go with them. There is no better marketing device than a live human being with art and passion and intelligence. It says that this is where he is from, and it's a good place.
Definitely. While we wrap up, is there any last minute words that you can say to anyone abroad or even here in Anguilla who is thinking, boy, should I go to this August Monday, or should I go to this reggae show? Any last encouraging words that you can give to them?
Yeah, don't just August Monday and reggae show. Come to Anguilla for Carnival. Period. I mean, it is one of the most significant and spectacular festivals in the entire Caribbean. Period. I mean, we are the country that's famous for our own brand of soca. We are the country that's famous for our own brand of reggae artists. I mean, listen, Banky is unique. There isn't anything else like Banky. And a good friend of mine always said, authenticity is the new currency. We are an authentic nation, and proud to be that, and keeping it that way, and working at that, and recognizing that. We know that. We know that we're special. So just don't come for 2 dates. Come for Carnival.
Definitely well said. Mr. Carty, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us here at Radio Anguilla. And we're going to stay behind you. We're going to promote you as much as possible. And
we love you too.
Of course you do. And we're going to continue working along with you and trying to get the public up to date on everything that's happening,
yes.
Keeping them current with the carnival, keeping them a part of carnival.
Yes.
And we do appreciate your openness and willingness to come to us and to open up and tell us about what's going on.
Of course.
And keep us in the know-how.
Of course. And I'd also like to add, it's a new story to me, but it's a story that's worth being told. And we don't have time for details, but it is essentially this. During these times, you have to be spectacular. Because everything else is so negative. Be spectacular. And as a country, that is what we should be trying to do. And as a carnival committee, that is what we are doing. We are producing a spectacular event.
Thank you so much for joining us. Radio listeners, you are listening to a live interview with Mr. Davon Carty, chairman of the Anguilla Summer Festival for 2012. He was enlightening us with the events of the Reggae Band Clash and also the August Monday festivities. He brought us up to date. He shared all the info we need to, and now you know. Don't forget, he's also looking for some volunteers for the August Monday in terms of parking and little technical issues, pickups, little minor jobs that you can help out with. And if you are willing to do so, don't be afraid to contact him at the Anguilla Tourist Board office.
You can call me
or
on
the
my
festival
cell.
office.
I'm a roving, I never stay